Hello all. This driving house thing is doing my head in. It was complicated enough when I did my CPC training. It didn't help the fact that I left the tacho card in the machine all weekend. So when I got in there, I went, I get the van MOT, and I went to get my card out and went, oh God, I've lost my card. I can't not drive it today. I've got to get it MOT. Oh God, what am I going to do? Then I realised I'd left it in the machine, which meant the machine thought that I'd been working, basically digging a hole for the last 48 hours continually, and kept telling me that I had to take a break. As it is what you do in situations like this, I found out, is you drive normally, it normalises after a while, then you get a printout, and then you write on it what you've done wrong. I don't think I'm the first, and I don't think I'll be the last. Now, I'm working it out though. By the way, big thanks to Welsh Chris, who told me that if you press the button down on the tacho, then it tells you how many hours you've driven for, how many hours you rested for, and how many hours you've, sort of done your sandwiches. That little, your POA or hammers, other work. But I'm getting the hang of it. I've also found this app on the phone. It's called Tachograph. It's brilliant. At the moment, it's free, and I'm doing it on a manual entry. But I'm working out if I upgrade to the posh one, which costs it's either 89p a month or £20 for life. Well, I'm going to go for life on that one. But I'm not sure if there was one guy said, but when you upgrade it, it's not in English. I'm waiting to find out if it's in English. But if anyone's out there using Tachograph, the yellow one, and if they've got a full version, it's in English, please let me know because I'm going to buy it. Right, so what I thought I'd do is something I had to do when I got the vehicle, and this was a question from Sam Clark about measuring the Luton. How you go about measuring the Luton? Measure everything. So this is a little video on measuring vans. First of all, get yourself down to Amazon, and you can get yourself one of them measuring tapes, like I think that they're like a 10 metre measuring tape or a big measuring tape. And then when that comes through, what you do, you measure, you want to do the length, the height and the width of the box, and you also want to do the width and the height of the shutter when the shutter is all the way up. So don't measure it from the outside, because when it rolls up, there's going to be that much on the inside where the roll is in, and you might turn up and you can't get the pallet through. Then you want to measure the length of the van, you want to measure the width of the van, you want to measure the height, most importantly, the height of the van, so you don't clonk it on bridges as you go underneath it. So your thing to do, clear the van out, get in there, put the tape measure right up against the bulkhead, and then measure from the bulkhead to where the shutter closes. And then if you've got a Luton with a tail lift, measure from the bulkhead to the end of the bed, to the right, to the very back, right to where the tail lift comes up. Because if the pallet, I said this the other day, if the pallet is 2.3 metres and you measure inside the shutter and it's 2 metres, but you measure up to the tail lift and you've got 2.4 metres, that means the pallet will go on and have an inch spare. Hang on, that's not right, is it 2.4? 10 centimetre spare or what have you. And if the pallet is not high, you can put the tail lift up and you can pull the shutter down, and it will look like the van is shut from the outside. It's not a big deal. Even if the pallet is high, you can, as long as you strap it down properly, and you can drive with the back shutter open, just pray it don't rain. Other things that's quite handy to measure the diagonal on the inside as well. Because if you've got a Luton where you've got a box above your head, it might be the fact that a job is 5 metres, but from the corner of the van up to the corner of the box, you might have 5-6 metres. If it's a curtain pole, sometimes it's just, I've done this once where I had to move a couple of curtain poles, and they said the job is like 5.5 metres long, and I went, I can do 5.5 metres. Is it heavy? They went, no, it's curtain pole. I mean, I've done it before with carpet, where you've actually had to lump it up on one side and get it in, but as long as you can get the length in, and also talk to the shipper and say, these are the inside dimensions of my van. So if you have measured from the bottom to the shutter and it says you're 190 centimetres and they say the pallet is 187 centimetres tall, and you get there and it won't go in, and they measure that pallet and it turns out it was 197 centimetres tall, you can ring the shipper and go, not my fault. I told you, told me it was that big, I could take that big, I've turned up, cancellation fee please. But this goes for every single van. If you've got a little van, if you've got a Berlingo, if you've got a Traffic, if you've got anything like that, got a Transit, measure everything. And then you can cover yourself, and you can say I'm a long wheelbase, and they go, oh, you said you was a long wheelbase. So, well, I'm 3 metres long. That's a long wheelbase. Measure it. We did think on vans, vans according to the CX and that kind of stuff. But if you measure everything and you put it on your CX thing when it goes through, and you bid on jobs, you can go, it's on there. It's on there. And also you can ring them up and just tell them if it looks like you're in danger, turn around and go, I'm in this van, it measures this much, do you want me to try it? And then it's on their head. And they'll go yes, or they'll go, no, do you know what? I think we're going to err on the safe side. Anyway, I am now outside of rest time. I'm up in Leicester. What have I done today? Picked up from round the corner this morning and went up to, where did I go? Past Birmingham. Yeah, so it was somewhere past Birmingham to drop something off. Where did I go? Wolverhampton. And then the pickup was supposed to be in Birmingham and take it down to Greenwich, but then it wasn't Birmingham, it was actually Leicester. Loughborough, so I ain't going to have time to get into Greenwich and get out again, but I've rung and I've said, look, I'm going to take it back to base. I'm going to drop them up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, because that's me in the truck, which I'm loving, taking care, taking money. Cheers, guys.